Years, Nebraska has become a popular destination for refugees fleeing conflict. In 2016, Nebraska led the nation in refugee resettlements per capita. But new policies implemented by the Trump administration the last 4 years has cut that number drastically.
Now, the professionals who rehome refugees are saying it's affecting their ability to resettle and reconnect families right here in the U.S. NTV's Alex Whitney has been looking into the issue and brings us more.
A refugee's journey here to the United States usually isn't a pleasant one. Fleeing persecution or conflict in their home country, they come to the United States not for the opportunity, but out of necessity. Typically, the United States has been one of the friendliest countries on the planet when it comes to resettling refugees, but recent implementations of policy by the Trump administration have significantly reduced the number of refugees allowed to be resettled, and it now sits at its lowest point since 1980.
It has been a point of policy for the Trump administration to reduce the number of refugees allowed to resettle in the United States since he's been in office, reaching what is now the lowest point it's been since the program's inception.
To put it into perspective, in 2017, the ceiling was set at just under 110,000. The following year, that dropped drastically to 30,000. And for this year, we're looking at 18,000 as a cap for refugee resettlement.
This huge reduction in numbers has been greatly affecting the work done by organizations like Lutheran Family Services in rehoming refugees. Families who weren't able to come together now must worry about whether they will ever be able to reunite with loved ones that are still in the process of resettling.
There are people living overseas still who really we don't know when they're going to be able to come. So the reduction in numbers really has resulted in a reduction of families that are together with two earners and families that have both of their parents with them. We have many cases in Nebraska where their loved ones are still overseas, and with the reduction in numbers, fewer people will be able to come.
President Trump has also signed an executive order allowing governors to refuse refugee resettlement in their state. Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts has expressed his support for Trump's stricter refugee policies, but also consented to more resettlement here in Nebraska. That executive order has since been stopped by a judge. While our top-level officials continue to work on restrictions to resettlements, Sutton says that Nebraskans continue to be welcoming of any new refugees.
I can say that it has been a very challenging couple of years, a very different way of doing business. But as I said, Nebraska is a place of welcome, and people continue to sign up to sponsor the families that do come.
Right now, there is currently no indication that the Trump administration will want to increase the number of refugees being resettled in 2020, and the cap is still expected to remain low. And with his executive order still in court, it remains to be seen whether or not governors and local municipalities will be allowed to block refugees coming into their communities. Reporting here from Lincoln, I'm Alex Whitney. Back to you.